Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something pretty ambitious.
We really are. We're trying to piece together a kind of working framework, right, for mastering life reality itself.
Exactly. And we're drawing on quite a range of sources, some well-known spiritual texts, others much more specific, like the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood teachings.
Yeah, it's like a big exercise in comparative philosophy almost. We've looked at texts spanning, millennia.
And what's fascinating is how a consistent model seems to pop out.
It really does. They all seem to point to three sort of core elements you need to get a handle on if you want to unlock your potential as a creator, that is.
In these sources, they often call this structure the divine trio.
Right, the divine trio. It's like the engine, the core engine of creation. These three things determine, well, pretty much every outcome you experience.
And they are consciousness, imagination, and the body.
Yeah. And what makes this framework so useful, I think, is the relationship they define between them.
Ah, the hierarchy.
Exactly. The Atlantean teachings, they really lay it out clearly. Consciousness is the master. Imagination is the tool. And the body, that's the plastic material.
Okay. Master, tool, material.
Understanding that order, that hierarchy, well, it changes everything.
So our mission then for this deep dive is to really get clear on each of those three elements, define them properly.
And look at the context from these, ancient sources.
Right, and then show you how aligning them can fundamentally shift your reality, moving from just reacting to things to actually deliberately creating them.
Sounds good. Let's start right at the top. The absolute core, the source of power, the master, consciousness.
Now, when we say consciousness here, we need to be clear. We're not just talking about like your day-to-day awareness or just brain activity.
No, not at all. The sources define it much bigger than that. It's the core of all creation, the divine intelligence, you could say, your higher self.
The guiding force.
Precisely. And crucially, every single text we looked at insists this part of you is limitless. It's eternal.
And definitely not bound by time or space or, physical stuff.
Which immediately raises the stakes, doesn't it? If you, at your core, are limitless, then what you can create, that's limitless too.
Okay, but wait. If it's limitless and not bound by time, what does it actually do? How does something like that interact with, well, the real world?
That's the key insight. It perceives its power, according to these sources, is in its perception.
Perception, how so?
Through its attention, through what it chooses to perceive, it actively creates and shapes reality. Think about your thoughts, your emotions, your desires. They aren't just random reactions happening to you. They're dynamic expressions of this underlying limitless consciousness. They're consciousness in action.
I see. Okay, so thoughts aren't just background noise. They're the output kind of this inner divine intelligence trying to structure things.
Exactly. And Grandmaster Waxhira, he's a key figure for the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood. He put it beautifully.
What did he say?
He taught that consciousness is the seed of all creation. It holds the blueprint, the divine spark, the power to manifest literally anything.
The seed of all creation.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if reality is software, consciousness is the operating system itself. It runs the whole show.
That idea that the foundation is internal, that really clicks with something in the Gospel of Thomas, doesn't it? Saying,
oh, absolutely. Remind us.
It's the one that goes, if your leaders say to you, look, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds will precede you. But the kingdom is within you, and it is outside you.
Perfect. That nails it. The kingdom, which we could read as truth or mastery or ultimate reality, it's not something you find out there.
It's internal.
It's an internal field. The real power, the source code, it's all within consciousness itself. It is the master containing all potential.
Okay, so the master holds the vision, the infinite potential, but pure potential needs. Well, it needs a way to become specific, right, to take form.
Exactly. And that brings us to the active force, the bridge, which is the tool, imagination. Right. And this is where I think a lot of people get a bit sidetracked.
For sure. Because we tend to dismiss imagination as just, daydreaming or fantasy, making things up.
Yeah, not serious.
But in this framework, it's fundamental. It's the actual mechanism of manifestation. It's the bridge connecting the boundless unseen consciousness to the physical seen, the body. It's the blueprint designer.
So it's not just fantasy. It's more like the technology that translates a high-level idea from consciousness into something renderable, something tangible.
That's a great way to put it. It takes the soul's vision, which is held in consciousness, and forms it into a clear, detailed prototype. The rule is basically What you can clearly and vividly imagine, you start to create.
And you're saying this isn't just some modern idea?
Oh, not at all. This is ancient. You can trace this idea way back. Look at the Talmud, for instance. There's a teaching there.
Which one?
The world is created by the word of God, and by the word, the world endures.
Okay, that sounds quite theological. How does the word connect to imagination here?
Well, the interpretation we need here is that the word isn't just sound. It's the final, concrete expression of thought. And thought, especially when it's directed towards creating something. That's a product of imagination. Before anything physical existed, it had to be conceived, formed, shaped through divine imagination.
So imagination is the tool that takes that raw conscious energy and gives it actual structure, form.
Precisely. It's specific. It focuses the energy.
That really makes the act of imagining feel much more weighty, doesn't it? That's not just picturing nice things. It's like you're defining the actual parameters of what can show up.
Exactly right. And you see this echoed again in the Gospel of Thomas.
Yeah.
Saying 77.
Let's hear it.
The speaker says, I am the light that is over all things. I am the all. From me did all come forth, and unto me all return.
Okay, so the implication is everything that exists, all matter, all form, it originated from that initial divine thought, that creative impulse.
Yes. Imagination is like the conduit. It allows that boundless light, that potential, to be focused into a specific shape or reality.
So if consciousness is the sculptor with the vision,
then imagination is the chisel. Absolutely. And like any tool, it needs skill, direction, precision.
Right. A scattered imagination
leads to a scattered reality. A blurry blueprint gives you a blurry result.
Okay, so we have the master consciousness with the limitless vision. We have the tool imagination to define and shape that vision. Now we need the stuff, the place where it all happens.
The canvas, the place where the blueprint gets built and experienced. And that is the material, the body.
The body as the material.
It's the vessel. It's described as the plastic material because it can be shaped, it can be refined. It's the instrument designed specifically to bring those detailed visions from the mind into the physical world.
And it's really important, isn't it, to see the body not as some kind of limitation, but as the ultimate tool for manifestation.
Exactly. It's not a cage, it's the vehicle.
And this is where theory meets practice, right? Because the sources are super clear on this point.
Absolutely crystal clear. Just believing something or visualizing it, it's not enough. Not on its own.
Action is required.
Physical action is the final, non-negotiable step. You must act in alignment with the blueprint your imagination created, guided by your consciousness. That completes the circuit.
That emphasis on action, on discipline. It explains why groups like the Atlantean Brotherhood use such direct metaphors, doesn't it?
It does. In their initiate teachings, they call the body the ship.
The ship, okay.
They're the captain navigating the seas of life, and that ship, your body, it has to be maintained, directed, steered with absolute intention.
Makes sense. If the ship's leaky or the rudder's broken.
Doesn't matter how great your destination map is, right? The journey fails.
Which also explains the big focus on rituals, disciplines, specific physical practices in these esoteric traditions.
Totally. Those aren't random. They're designed specifically to refine the body. To train it, make it obedient to the higher will.
Training the material vessel to execute the plan.
Yeah, it's like tuning an instrument. You're detuning it from just reacting randomly, chaotically, and tuning it to act harmonically, intentionally.
Honoring the vessel.
Exactly. Which brings us straight to the Upanishads. The body is the temple of the soul.
A classic.
It really highlights that sacred duty, to maintain this physical container for the divine force that's animating it.
Okay, so we've defined the trio. Master, tool, material, consciousness, imagination, body. Yeah. The synergy. This is where it all comes together, right? The harmony sections.
Yes. How do they work together to create this, limitless force?
It's like a flow, isn't it? A continuous loop.
It is. And when it's working properly, it's basically unstoppable. Consciousness kicks things off. It provides the vision, the grand design.
The divine blueprint.
Then imagination takes that vision, that raw potential, and crafts the precise, detailed prototype. Gives it form.
And finally, the body, the plastic trainable material, steps in and manifests that vision through dedicated, aligned physical action.
So if your consciousness is clear and expansive, your imagination is sharp and focused, and your body is disciplined and responsive,
then creation becomes almost automatic.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It flows naturally, but the moment one of those elements falters,
the whole thing gets distorted.
Right. If consciousness is clouded by, say, fear or doubt, then the imagination starts drawing up blueprints for anxiety, for failure.
And if the imagination is scattered, unfocused,
Then the body's actions become inconsistent. You get fragmented results, stop-start progress. Misalignment, essentially, is the root of suffering or failure in this model.
the sources really nailed this with that sculptor analogy. It's so simple but effective.
It really is brilliant. You've got the sculptor's vision, that's consciousness. Pure potential, the idea.
Then the sculptor picks up the chisel, that's imagination, the specific tool to shape the idea,
And uses it on the block of marble, that's the body, the material waiting to be formed.
to create the masterpiece.
And you absolutely cannot get a masterpiece unless all three are working together perfectly. Great vision, no chisel, nothing happens. Perfect chisel, no marble, useless.
The alignment is the key. It's the difference between just random stuff happening and intentional creation.
And the result, they promise, if you can align this trio, it's not just about having a slightly better life. It's about shaping your life into a divine work of art.
Moving from being like a passive tenant in reality.
To being the active, powerful architect of it. Yeah.
And that really gets to the practical core for anyone listening, doesn't it? Mastery means actively working on all three.
Absolutely. You have to consciously put energy into expanding your consciousness, getting beyond your perceived limits, then directing your imagination vividly, consistently towards what you truly want.
And crucially, aligning your body, training it through unwavering discipline to act on that divine will.
That's the path they lay out. Abundance, peace. It comes from that alignment.
Wow. This has been, well, it's a deep look at a framework that seems remarkably universal, actually, pulling threads from thousands of years, all pointing back to the creator within us.
It is pretty staggering when you see it laid out like that. And the ultimate implication, well, it goes way beyond just achieving your goals, doesn't it?
It really does. It pushes towards something much more profound about transcending limitations altogether.
Which leads us to that final provocative thought we wanted to leave you with. It comes right from the beginning of the Gospel of Thomas, saying one.
The very first line.
Whoever discovers the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death.
Will not taste death.
So the question to ponder is, what does it truly mean to discover the interpretation of your own reality?
To align your consciousness, your imagination, and your body so perfectly that you become that fully self-aware creator.
What secrets about, well, eternal life or transcending the material might be hidden in truly mastering the master, the tool, and the material of your own being?
A profound idea indeed. Something to definitely wrestle with. Till next time.